Greetings out there in YouTube land. This is Morris Man, and as always, I thank you guys for coming to my channel. Today, I'm going to post a video. It's going to be entitled Learning the Rhythm Guitar, the Quarantine Special. As we all know, we're dealing with a very bad situation regarding, what's going on as far as, the coronavirus, and they're urging everybody to quarantine as often as possible or social distancing. If you don't have to be outside, don't be outside. We're going to have to kind of curb our normal habits for a while. And it takes an effort of all of us to do this and to make it work. So, really take note of that. And while you guys are sitting at home, trying to weather this out, this is a perfect time for you guys to learn the rhythm guitar. Normally, my course is $40. You get seven modules. Download now. No longer have to wait for a DVD. If you pay for it today, you get it today. Normally it's $40. We're far more than that, because when I first started to put this together, by recommendation, should I say, by my support of my subscribers, they said, "Man, you play well, and teach us how to do what you do." And I said, "I'm not a teacher." They said, "Well, put something together anyway, because just show us how you do what you do and why you do what you do." And it took me about 6 months to put something together that was coherent, because my biggest fear was this, putting something together and you couldn't understand it, because that's the frustration when you're dealing with taking lessons from instructors or, trying to learn something. It's like sometimes they write it in a language that only they know the language, which defeats the purpose. And I said, I want to put something together that's going to break it down, make it real simple, because I had to go the long route. I was taught by music teachers, and I was taught the long way. And not by no means I'm shortcutting my course. It's not. I'm just taking out stuff you don't need. And I give you a good example. Easy songbook. Some bullshit. You don't need an easy songbook. If you're going to play the damn thing, they should teach you how to play the damn thing. Instead of play it in this key because it's easier. That key is not the key of the song. And how you become better at playing an instrument is, you put that record on, or you go upstairs, close that door, put that record on, and you get to practicing, with the record. The record is the guide. So how can you follow the record if now you're playing at a different key? So that makes no sense to me. It's a waste of time, and it's dragged out. And as you guys know, music lessons are quite expensive. Now they're about $60, I believe, maybe for 45 minutes or something like that. And times 4, that's like $240 a month, or $260, whatever, a month from lessons. And within 6 months, you didn't paid a couple of $1,000s, and you still nowhere near where you need to be to play. So I was real conscious of putting together something that was going to cut to the chase, but not omit anything that you need, as far as just throwing something together. Because again, I was really concerned about it, because I'm like, it's pointless if I put something together that you can't understand. So like I said, I took 6 months. I spent 6 months on this. I put it together. I'm very proud of it. It cuts to the chase. It teaches you from day one how to get started to play the songs that you want to play off the radio. And normally it's $40. When I first, like I said, started to distribute the lessons, it was like I had just module 1. That was $40. And it's worth $40 each. But after I compiled from 1 to 7, I'm like, I'm kind of done now. I put them together to sell it to you guys, the entire course from start to finish, for only $40. And for the next probably month, until further notice, it's going to be only $30, the quarantine special. So you guys have opportunity to get it cheaper all around the world while we're dealing with this epidemic or pandemic. So it's not that difficult. And in order to do anything right, you got to do it right. It's just that simple, because I just had a viewer leave me this message, and I'm going to mention this, by no means putting anybody on blast, but I think it's important because it's a good example. I have Learn the Rhythm course, which teaches you how to play the rhythm on this. Learn the instrument before you start trying to learn songs, right? And then I have, for people that already know how to play, because 99.9% of the videos that I post, actually I say about 100%, well 99, because I do sometimes do a breakdown, and I haven't done those in a while without the music. But those videos that you see with the chords across the screen, they're geared towards musicians, guitar players, and piano players. They already know how to play the instrument. They just need the chords. Hey, Morris, man, what chord is that? D major 7. Gotcha, thanks. I don't need any finger placements. I don't need you to tell me where the finger should go or on the fretboard, because if you're asking for that, you need to get lessons. Which brings me back to one of my viewers' question. I was selling and still selling until further notice my DVD bundle number 1, which consists of 371 sung lessons. I teach you the chords. That's all I teach you. I don't teach you finger placement, because again, if you don't know that, you should be studying that other course that I got, y'all. The DVDs modules 1 through 7, learn the rhythm guitar. So I had a viewer say, I can't read music, but I can read chords. And then he had another statement in that sentence that I kind of zoned out after that, because when he said he can read chords, and then in the next sentence it said, will this course work for me, or these lessons? I'm like, yeah, if you know how to read the chords. And then he responded back, because again, I zoned out after that statement. He said, do you do a step-by-step finger placement, fret placement? No, because if I got to do that, that means you have not learned this. There's some people that don't understand, and I know you don't know what you don't know. Like they say, you're putting a horse in front of the cart. If you don't know how to play this yet, leave trying to learn songs alone. You know, because once you learn how to play this, you play 1,000, 1,000,000 songs. I had no idea how many songs that I could play until I one day came on YouTube 6 years ago and said, I know 50 songs off the top of my head, because I'm a studio musician, tour musician, and I play these songs all the time. So here's the chord, my fellow musicians who already know how to play this. So, you know, that was the point, that I was trying to, put together something that is coherent. And again, I just started off putting together 50 songs because I knew them. But then all of a sudden, I realized I know 50 more. I know 50 more. I know 100 more. I know 300 more. I know 2,000 more. I know 4,500 more. I know 7,000. I've posted a combination of stuff I posted on both of my channels, and the lessons that I have that are not available on YouTube. That's about 7,000 songs. I had no idea I can play that. And that's because I know how to play this. And once I teach you how to play the rhythm, you can play all the songs you want. But again, we don't know what we don't know. We have some people that I don't know which one it is, that they just don't want to pay anybody, think they're going to get it for free, or they don't realize that they have to pay somebody to teach them, because you're not going to learn this by yourself. If you start trying to do this without no concept of what you're doing, you might figure out some stuff and you might be able to play a little bit. But just imagine if you took the lessons in the course with already what you know, you'd be much better, because I have a few people that have commented on, I can't read and I'm a musician, I'm doing okay. By your standards you are, but go into a professional recording studio, not your friend's basement, and work on multi-platinum recordings with multi-platinum artists. You're not going to come up in there not knowing how to read, while these other guys around here can read, and they're not going to be sitting waiting for you to figure it out. And I stress that because you don't know what you don't know. Learn the right way. Get formal lessons. Nobody's saying that you got to be a professional reader, but just be able to know how to read. I mean, just for the most part, for rhythm guitar players, we just read chord charts. We don't sit there and read notations. Okay, that's on the second step. That must be a A or a B. We don't have to do that. Musicians or guitar players that do that do this, like Paul Jackson Jr. He's a guitar player, and the majority of his songs are just him playing guitar, and he's playing the melody of what the singer would normally play. He do remakes like Janet Jackson, Let's Wait a While. He played the notes, to the melody. Yeah, you do have to read notations, but most of us don't play like that. I don't play like that. I just play the foundation of the chords. I play the meat of the song. I just play chords. That's it. So the only thing I have to do, and I teach you this in lesson number 7, how to read chord charts. Again, you ain't got to be a professional reader. Read chord charts. Real simple. You see chords over, and I should have brought a book in here. And actually, I think I do. But you might not be able to see it. But I'm going to try it anyway. I just found this. Rhapsody White. Another rare Barry White song. Or Barry White cover. Okay, so I don't know if you guys will be able to see this, but you see the notations, and then you see a chord chart over the top. I think that one says C11. That's it. That's all we have to do. You know? And if you know a C11, and you should have to learn how to play the guitar, it's like, okay, C11. That's it. That's it. That's all we have to do. It's just read the notation on top of read the chords on top of the notation. You know, so I stress you guys that are trying to learn, you know, because there's some people, they're not serious, and I'm not expecting you guys to be serious enough that you want to do this for a living. But just be good enough at whatever you do, even if you're not doing it for a living. You know, you don't want to come in all sloppy and half-assing it, you know. So I told the gentleman, I said, from what you just told me or shared with me, it's real simple. You're not ready for this. What you're ready for is to bag it up, take some step backwards, and learn the chords. Learn how to read chord charts, learn the fretboard, and then you're good to go to do this. I sent him the link for my Learn How to Play the Rhythm course. That was 2 days ago. I ain't heard from him. So that lets me know he wants to continue to try to do it himself. And this is why you're in the situation and you're in, trying to do it yourself. We all need help at some point in time. There's no way that I could be doing what I'm doing now musically if I didn't enlist the help of instructors years ago. You know, there's no way I would be playing like I play and know how to play and know what I'm playing, because it's real simple. Once you take the course, it's, you know, and I guess the term is osmosis, meaning that when you do it enough, it just comes naturally. You ain't got to try to memorize 200 chords or 50 chords off the top of your head. You just know now. You know, you just know. You can close your eyes and play because you just know. You know, your brain gets trained to the point it's like, okay, I ain't got to try to remember. I know it. You know, it's just real simple. If somebody asks you, play a C major chord or C major 7. Okay, play an F chord. This is in the position of E string. Play it in the position of D. Because I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to sign off, because I'm going to get into a little kind of theory so it makes sense, because it's all about it making sense to you. 99% of my playing is bar chords. Well, I say 95. Bar chords and based on the root on the E string and the A string, meaning that the first note is going to be based on that string, meaning F. Okay, this is F. Play a F major. Okay, play F minor. Play F major 7. You know, okay, then I'm playing it on the root on the A string. Play F. Play F major 7. Play F minor 7. You know. The majority of the chords that I play are based on the roots on those two strings. But guess what? You can build your root chord on E string, D, G, B, E. But I rarely ever build anything on the D on down, because I don't have to. They're open face chords, and I rarely use those. The majority of the songs that I play, the players on those records basically use the root on the A and E also. Now, when you're doing jazz, it's just the opposite. They playing open face chords and rarely play bar chords, you know? Things like that, you can't pick up by yourself. Somebody got to tell you, or you figure it out when you're being taught. Just here's another interesting thing that I just kind of figured out a couple of years ago, and I didn't think about it, because I play guitar more than I play bass. The bass guitar has 4 strings. E, A, D, G. That's it, 4 strings. If you just memorize the notes on the E string and the A string, you already know the strings on the D and the G. And here's a good example of that. I'm playing a G. Guess what? When I do an octave for that, that's a G2. And this is on D string. So it's like, okay, I just keep moving around. Then I put a hand on the C on the A string, and then I do an octave. That's a C2, and that's on the E string. You know, so I'm like, whoa, I never thought about that. So it's like, if you just learn the 2 strings, the E and the A, you already know the other strings automatically, you know? So I'm going to sign off now, but like I said, the quarantine special for probably the next 4 weeks. To further notice, normally $40, you get it for $30. You also get the chord chart, And the chord chart is kind of the whole thing in a nutshell. This right here, when my instructor gave me this many years ago, he said, just study this. And he showed me how to study it. I was like, wow, it's that easy? It ain't that difficult? No. Just got to put it in terms where it makes sense to you and not difficult. So this, you get a PDF file of this. And in the lessons, I walk you through how to apply this. And trust me, just on this alone, because my instructor originally gave me like 6 pages of this, and this is just built on the E and the A, or the E and the A, but he gave me other charts that build them on the other strings. But I've never really had to use those, because I'm not really playing hardcore jazz and open face chords. I'm a rhythm dude. I'm a bar chord dude. Now, if you're looking to become a hardcore jazz player, this will be a supplement to what you need to know, but this is not going to teach you to do that. But once you learn how to do that, you slowly incorporate some jazz stuff into your playing, which I've done. I played on jazz sets. You know, I know how to play open face chords when I need to do it in a jazz setting, but I rarely ever in a jazz setting like that to play them. But guess what? I'm ready when it happens, you know? So again, the quarantine sale, you get lessons 1 through 7. Once you pay today, you get them immediately today so you can get started, you know, while we're sitting here trying to ride this nightmare out, you know, because it's going to be a while for us to be able to resume our life as we know it, at least several months. So within that several months sitting in the house, you could be getting busy. And then once, you know, the smoke clears and we can kind of resume our normal life's habits, we're pretty good at the guitar now. Because I told you guys next week it's supposed to start this week coming up, but I'm taking formal drum lessons because I'm like, I can play drums, but I don't know the fundamentals. I kind of did it by myself, you know, so I'm like, now I just want to be able to do it right and do it better, you know. And I was going to start this week online, but the hi-hat that I got came broke, you know, so they ordered me another one. They sent it out to be here next week, so I'm going to get started on that. So again, I stress you guys, if you're serious about this, and if you're not, this ain't the video for you. But if you are serious about just trying to become a decent player, again, not necessarily a professional musician, but just a decent player, my course here will help you get there. Because trust me, and I can say this with 100% assurity because it's true. I was sitting in your seat where you at now, embarking on a musical journey many, many years ago. So I know how it feels, and I know how to get you from there to here, because I've been there many years ago. I'm sitting in the same seat as you are, sitting in there saying, hey, I want to learn. You know, I know nothing about the guitar, but I don't learn. Been there, so I can help you. You know, and I can help you maneuver in a direction where you pick up and focus on the stuff you need to, and not focus on the stuff you don't. You know, because a lot of people ask me, when you going to do some lead stuff? That ain't my forte. I do it when I get paid to do it in the studio because I can do it. I just don't like doing it. I love building chords. I love building the building blocks of the song instead of I'm just solo over the top of it. Because as you guys know, in R&B music today, when was the last time you heard a guitar solo? I hear crickets. Exactly. So I knew I had the foresight many years ago, and I was told this by guys that could play. When I was coming up, they said, dude, you got a good right hand for rhythm, dude. Keep focusing on that. You know, you learn your scales and your modes, but this is going to be your bread and butter, because come future time, there might not be a need for 2 guitar players, because back in the 70s, there was 2 guitar players, sometimes 3. You know, on one side of the ear stereo spectrum, you hear the picking thing. On the other ear, you hear rhythm, then some other fill-in parts, 3 guitars going. Now, you're lucky if you hear one. And if you do hear one, he's playing rhythm. He's not cranking out an Ernie Isley solo. Those days are over. So you have to make your adjustment. And I'm glad that I did make my adjustment when I did it back then. Because now, my phone still rings every day. For rhythm stuff, not for lead stuff. You know, every now and then I get some calls and say, I need a lead solo over this right here, this little passage. Not a problem, I can do it. I've done it. But that's just not something I personally enjoy doing on a regular basis. I do it when it's necessary and when I'm paid to do it and I'm asked to do it and get paid to do it. But rhythm, still alive and kicking. So until next time, take care.